on a few flies in my office.
Yeah. Rambo. So welcome to all the video goers. This is going to be episode 51. 51? 50. Well, yes, 51.
Okay.
Yeah, episode 51 of the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Yeah, rocking the new this is actually a hat that was messed up. But some guys have seemed to like it on the Facebook group. So I don't know, maybe I'll get some this kind made up. We'll see. So all right, before I get to talking too much, let's go ahead and get this going, okay, my friend?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Right. Oh, hold on. Let me forgot to pull something up, motherfucker. Some bitch. There it is. There it is. All right, here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh, what's up, everybody? Hey, we're not going to do full-fledged into sponsors tonight, but I do want to talk about our friends over at Live Bearded. So to all of our bearded friends out there, Live Bearded makes some awesome products. They really do. I had me a shower before I came down. I got my beard feeling all nice and smooth, smells good. They have great manly scents, guys, that I think everybody will love. Something I didn't know until tonight is even if you don't have a beard, you can still get like their wash, and it's just like an all natural, like, you know, body wash, and you can use it on your hair and whatnot. So it's what are you laughing for?
Get some body wash.
Yeah, body wash.
Yeah, that's that East Coast accent there, I think.
Yeah, you wash clothes. Wash.
Yeah.
Stop. I'm in the middle of reading something, Kelly.
Sorry.
Oh, anyway, yeah, Live Bearded, guys. So if you go to their website, www.livebearded.com, when you go to check out, if you put in HVAC Uncensored, just all one word, I'm pretty sure it can be capitalized, lowercase. It doesn't matter. From what I know, if you find out that otherwise, please, let us know. But yeah, put in HVAC Uncensored, and you're going to get 10% off your purchase. And it also helps come back to the podcast as well. So check them out. Second, before we go on to the show, is merchandise is coming. If you're watching the video, you can see the hat that I'm wearing. If you're listening on audio, you can check in the Facebook group or go to YouTube and watch the video afterward. I don't know what to tell you. But we have shirts and 2 different style hats that are coming. A lot of guys have been asking for merchandise, so we're getting this stuff made as soon as it's able for sale, because we have our website being redone where you're going to be able to go right to our website and purchase anything that you need. So we're going to have 2 different style hats, color schemes, I guess you would say, that guys can wear them flat brim style if they want, or they can fold them over, however you want to wear them. And then we'll have the white shirts with the logo, but they're like a dry fit material. Other than that, that's a little housekeeping I wanted to let you guys know. Other than that, let's move on here.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. God bless the USA.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
If you're trying to take your HVAC game to the next level, then buckle your seatbelt, crank up the volume, and try not to be offended. Because you're listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast with Gil Kelley and Kelly McKay. Now, here's Gil and Kelley.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 51 of the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Yeah, man, we got a good show for you guys tonight. I am yours truly, Gil, sitting alongside my buddy, old pal, Mr. Kelly McKay. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? I'm excited about tonight's show. This could be like one of the top episodes we ever produce. I do believe like this is going to save you guys so much time, energy, money. Like it's gonna be crazy. So
yeah, and especially some of the things it's a lot of you guys are like, oh well, guys, this is like no brainer stuff. You know, you're right, but
yeah,
but it's amazing how many guys don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bad part. Real fast, I did not say in the intro is, guys, we have some of the HVAC Uncensored stickers made. We would like your guys' feedback. They're not huge. They're 3 inches by like almost 2 inches. So I think it's 3 by 1.75. We're not sure on these. Aren't bad. They're not like, because we don't want them too big, but I guess I would love some feedback from you guys, you know, the listeners, the viewers, to tell us, you know, like what kind, like size sticker are you guys looking for? You know, is something like this fine? It's not really too big. I mean, these quality-wise, these things are badass. Like, you know, me and Kelly talked. They're like a vinyl material. So,
yeah, I like the idea of them being smaller. So we're interested to know what you guys think, because with this being smaller, I think like the boss isn't gonna mind if you put that on the back of the truck. You know, it's not like it's great big, but when you're at the supply houses and stuff, all your homies would be like, "Fuck yeah, HVAC Uncensored," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, hey, if you want, you know, a 15-foot by 15-foot one, I mean, let me know. I mean, you can relogo your truck in HVAC Uncensored. I won't mind. But no, just let us know, man. I mean, I think we're gonna order a bunch of this size. Obviously we'll give some away during giveaways and they'll be for sale. And if you guys want other sizes, we can do that. I mean, it's stickers. It's not really that big of a deal. But
it's really a big deal.
Yeah, it's a huge deal, man.
It is, man. I mean, I want one of those. I can't wait to get some. So
yeah,
I'm gonna set them. So if you live in my area, and if you live in Gil's area, I know some of my supply house buddies. They're gonna let me sit that. Like, I'm going to set a stack of them in the supply house. So if you see them, be sure to pick them up. And for guys maybe in my area or your area, Gil, that don't know about us, maybe this will, you know, help spread the word. They'll be like, oh, that's a podcast. Sure. Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, we'll probably give some to our local supply houses, but
sure.
I mean, to be honest, I'm not just going to sit stacks of them, because
no,
they're going to pay for it.
Right.
Not trying to be an ass.
I'm willing to donate, you know.
Oh, well, yeah,
I'll pay some. I'll pay, you know, we'll see what the quantity turns out to be, but I'm willing to donate some for that, just for my local area, because I think it'll be cool, you know.
Well, for sure. No, I'll do the same thing. But I meant like, we're not going to like go to like every supply house in town and be like, hey, here, take 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Do that.
I'm talking like 4 or 5 laid out there for the guys who might be interested.
Yeah.
Hopefully hopefully they grab one before they're gone.
I might even sign it for you. You know, I mean,
they're gonna have to pay for that.
There you go. Find it, crayon.
Sign it with your left hand.
Yeah.
I'm left-handed, but I'll sign mine with my right.
Oh, yeah. I'm right-handed, but
It'll just match some of the technicians' handwriting.
yeah,
You know, so-
looks like it.
yeah.
But yeah, guys, we have a good show for you tonight. Shit, I guess me and Kelly will talk about it off air now, but we have some guests coming up that are going to be coming up that I totally forgot to talk to you about.
Right. Yeah.
The last 2 hours we've talked before recording. I forgot to mention that, but we are
Jenna Jameson will be joining us. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
studio.
Oh, yeah. My studio.
But one thing I don't know if you know, Kelly, it always pops up in the corner is apparently they say come August 1st that Google Hangouts is going away.
Oh, really?
So as far as how we're doing videos, guys, we might have to try to figure something else out. From what I've heard and watching some videos, that I don't think that the service is going away. I think it just might be rebranded and called something else. So there still might be an option. If not, which sucks because we just started it, but we might have to figure out another way to be able to do the video portion, which kind of blows because
Zoom. We'll do Zoom.
Yeah, that's true. We can do that. It'll just be yeah, we'll just put it up a different way rather than something like this that's already on YouTube. It'll be something that I'm uploading. So it's not a big deal. Either way, we'll figure it out. I just wanted to let you guys know in case we miss a week or something with a video. We're not going to miss the audio, but if we miss a week with the video or something like that, that's why. But I do know a lot of guys are loving this video stuff. I've had a lot of people hit it up, and they're guys that they still listen to the audio part, but then when they get home, they're like, yeah, it's really cool to be able to watch the video and actually see you guys interact with each other and stuff like that. So that's cool. Thank you guys. Anyway, let's get into the show, guys. So we are going to talk to us. It's our top 10, 11 callbacks for this time of year. Well, some are for any time of year. And once again, with any kind of top 10 or top anything we do, they're really in no particular order. It's me and Kelly going back and forth, listing things. So it's not from like most important to least important. They're just all issues that we know that we've addressed. And like me and Kelly said, that we know a lot of you guys are going to be like, guys, this is such basic stuff. It is. We agree with you. But these callbacks every day. And you guys are going to agree that there are things that we get rushed. And real fast before we start, Kelly, I want to bring this up about the whole rush thing. And some guys, I put a post in our Facebook group and I said something about being thorough on a call and making sure that you take your blinders off, which is something me and Kelly have said only a million times in the last fucking year of doing this podcast. And some guys are like, no, I agree with you, Gil, but you know, when you got 16 calls a day, you can't do that. Dude, I'm telling you right now that half of you are bullshitting. You don't have 16 calls in a day. Okay, I'm sorry. You might have a lot of calls, but you don't have 16. And if you do have 16, your boss is a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
Even if he's you.
Yeah, it's just there's no way that you can do 16 calls in a day and do a good job. You just can't. There's not enough hours in a day.
Nope.
I mean, so that means even if you spent an hour on each call, not even counting drive time, that's a 16-hour day. It's not possible. And let's just be honest. Some of you guys like to over exaggerate. Trust me, Kelly knows I've worked some long hours these last couple of weeks. I'm not doing 16 calls in a day. And I would like to think I'm pretty good at this and I can knock some calls out. It's not 16 calls. I mean, I've done quite a few, but okay, let's just say this. Say, God forbid, I did do 16 calls in one day. It would be a fluke thing. It's not every day. There's no way anybody can do that. So, guys, let's be realistic. Let's not make excuses. to why we can't be thorough on calls, because that's what it is. They're excuses. We need to stick to processes. It's just there's guys get sick of hearing it, but it is what it is. You have to stick to your process. Me and Kelly were just talking and about a situation about someone guys who had more experience, but then a guy who has a process and always follows that process found an issue that the other two guys with more experience didn't find. So that right there just tells you sticking to a process and being thorough is going to win every day of the week, twice on Sundays. But
yeah, if all of your calls are on the same street, which was never going to happen, I mean, very rare would that ever happen. And you would be scheduled that on purpose, but that would be the only way to get through 16 calls. And you're still going to have a hard time doing them thoroughly. It's just impossible. It takes too long to do a thorough call, period.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing your job, you still have travel time in between. You got to write up your invoice. You got all this stuff to do on top of that, plus talk with the customer. But one thing that I'll say is that if you're getting through that many calls a day, and I have heard guys say this in the fucking supply house, walk in and say, yeah, I did 13 calls yesterday. I'm like, dude, my immediate thought is you're a piece of shit. And I don't care who gets mad at that. I promise you that you're not doing a thorough job and you're doing a disservice to your customers, period. Even when we do take our time, we still make mistakes. If you're going through 16, you're leaving shit undone, period. And you're leaving money on the table.
Yeah, there's no guys. I am always going to take quality over quantity any day of the week. And my customers rather me say, hey, I can't get you today, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We're all booked up, but we can be out first thing tomorrow. You know what I mean? Knowing that we're able to take our time with customers. And I know some of these big companies that have 70 techs and all this other stuff that maybe they can do that kind of stuff. Or maybe you have to do that kind of stuff to be a big company like that.
No,
I'm not going to, I just can't do that, No,
it's not. And I know I'm being harsh here. I'm being harsh, guys. But I'm telling you, you know it in your heart of hearts that you are not. And for me, and it could just be my personality, but I'm just too anal about shit. So if I walk away from a condenser without putting my gauges on it, or walk away without washing it out, whether it looks clean or not, like every single service call I run during the summer, that unit's getting washed. Unless I was there a week ago and I already did it. That's the only time it's not getting water applied. Period. It's the only time. Every call is approached as a process. And if you just stick to that process, which you'll learn as we go through our list here, then you just can't go wrong. But it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah. And everybody's process can be different.
Sure.
As long as it's still accomplishing everything. You know what I mean? It can be step 1, step 2, step 3 can be different. You can have them mixed around as long as everything's getting done is pretty much what we're trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, go ahead, Kel. I'll let you go, man. Go ahead. You can do the first one.
Okay. So number 1, in no particular order, dirty evaporator coils. I've seen this happen way too many times where we go out, we clean the outdoor unit. I mean, we do a really thorough job. Clean the outdoor unit. We replace the filter, check the blower, check all the wiring, maybe adjust the charge, check the temperature drop even. Everything seems to be fine. They call back 2 days later, the next day, later that afternoon, still not keeping up. Something's not quite right. And it's strictly because we didn't check the evaporator coil. Maybe it was kind of a pain to get into and we're rushed on time once again. So we choose not to do go the extra mile and just take a peek, especially when the symptoms are showing you that. I don't know about you, Gil, but when I've gotten really good at, I could diagnose dirty coils like easily. It's from outdoors. If you check your suction line, your liquid line, and you're seeing you know, abnormally low um, superheat and low suction pressure, even if your superheat's normal, but your suction pressure is not quite right, or you take a temperature drop on top of that just to double check it, and you find you got a 24-degree temperature drop, like I'm checking that coil.
Yeah,
No matter what, I can't walk away with that without looking at it. I have to know. And once in a while, I'll look at it and everything's fine. But at least I know.
yeah. There's enough signs that can point out, hey, I need to look at this.
Mhm.
I need to look at that. And another one that I just thought about that I want to tie into this is also I've seen guys clean both coils and not clean a dirty blower wheel. What's the point of spending all that time to clean that, that coil when your blower wheel looks like the fucking cat died in it and it's not pushing any air? I've said this before and I've heard it. I mean, I'm not going to like state this like it's, written in stone, but I've heard like up to an eighth of an inch of dirt can reduce airflow by 40%.
Yeah, that's what I was looking around on my floor for, because I had that training manual. I couldn't remember the percentage. I knew it was 30 or 40%. It's high.
Yeah. So I mean, guys, how many times have you went out there and be like, "Oh, that's not that bad"? No, it is. That's reducing their airflow by almost half. That's a big deal. So what's the guys? The whole reason of cleaning coils is to get the proper airflow. Well, if we do all this and we leave that blower wheel still gunked up with shit, we just defeated the purpose of trying to get better airflow. So it's just it's to me. I always tell customers, and granted, it's going to be how much time I spend on how thorough I have to clean it, but I always like to try to address both coils at the same time because they're hand in hand. Maybe the outdoor is really, really dirty, but the inside is really not bad. Okay, so maybe I'm not going to charge them for a full, chemical cleaning, but maybe I'm still going to brush it and put like a little bit of foam on it just to make sure. Because I always tell customers, when you wash your, say you're doing something, you get something on your right hand, you're still going to wash both your hands, right? So it's kind of the same thing with coils. They go hand in hand. Sometimes it makes sense just to take care of both of them at the same time. Obviously, for us, we adjust prices accordingly. I'm not going to charge them, for like a full-fledged coil cleaning if it's not that dirty, but you guys get my drift. So
Yeah, it's a common overlooked problem, whether it's just from being lazy or being in a rush from not because you're busy this time of season. I mean, a lot of times these don't always show up when we're not so busy. We slow down a little bit and we take our time and we go through the system, but it's when we get really busy that we tend to let things slide, and it's a big one. Yeah,
we're actually switching back and forth right now as we're talking, but
really.
remember what I said, without a third person, it doesn't always switch back and forth.
But how can you see if it is switching back and forth? Do you actually know?
When I'm talking, am I coming up on the big screen? And when you talk, you're coming up on the big screen?
You're on the big screen always for me. I'm just all over here in the little corner.
Yeah, see, for me,
When I talk, I'm coming on your screen.
yeah, it's switching back and forth. I just hope that it's doing that.
Yeah,
For
the recorded one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Shit. Hold on.
If you want to send something to I have my phone. I have Google Hangouts on my phone. If you want to send something to my my Kelley at mckayshvac.com.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that but the only thing is we're in the middle of recording.
Right.
Oh yeah, it shouldn't matter. Hold on.
No, I mean, the people who watching the video, they can just they get the extra behind the scenes with Gil and Kelley.
Yeah. So that one is just your name, heating and cooling at gmail.com. Or you want to text it to me?
Can I chat? I can chat it to you, can I? I'm sure it doesn't show that. It's no big deal. Nobody's gonna mess with it anyway. It's that email right there.
Well, okay.
I gotta find Google Hangouts on my apps here on my phone because I don't never look there. There it is.
If not, I can go sign in under my son's account. Oh shit, that's not right.
Well, if you go ahead and do it, I'll just answer it and it'll just be here sitting on my desk. That way it definitely works. Or at least we'll think it's working.
Yeah, and just put it like I would just turn like mute. We'll mute it so it's not like picking you up in the background. All right, I just did it, so it should be sent. I wasn't expecting that.
Hey.
Old. Look at this. That asshole looks familiar.
I gotta figure out how to mute myself.
Here, I got it. I got you.
Okay. I'm gonna turn the. I'll just put it down.
Well, you can do that, or you can go up and I have it muted, but
that'll work. It'll work just like this.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so now we know that we're gonna do that. So
yeah.
At least we realized. So for the beginning of the video, if you only see this,
or
hopefully not that, but
this,
we apologize. And dude, fuck, I knew that. We gotta stop talking for 2 hours before we record because I forget. I got the memory of like an old man with dementia. God.
Yeah. Okay, so dirty coil, we've covered that. Let's move on to the next one. You go on this one.
Now we're going in as guys, especially it's situational, but not adding. You can either say start boost, start assist. We call them start assist, hard start, when it's needed. You know, you have that system that's pulling high starting amps. It's pulling, lock rotor amps. Like when it starts up, it's overheating, and you don't add that start assist, that start boost. And then you get a callback, compressor's off on thermal overload. You're out there fucking 8 o'clock at night with a hose trying to cool this thing down. We've talked about this before. Me personally, from a company standard, we say anything over 5 years old should have one. Me, any unit that doesn't have one should have one. Because if you look at all the higher end systems, they all have them. They all have start assist. So sometimes I know between models, like for Carrier, like it's comfort, performance, infinity. Some of like their top tier like comfort stuff and the lower performance, the only difference in a couple of the models is a fucking start assist. So it's just all about manufacturing, making things cheaper so you're taking parts out of it. So it's definitely something that needs to be on there. And guys, that takes so much work off of the compressor. And that is the most important piece on there. You figure, I always tell customers, that's like us having a heart transplant. It's the most expensive piece to replace. We want to do everything possible to protect that. So if there's ever any signs that is having an issue, we want to do something to take care of it. Just like if you're having heart issues or Kelly's having heart issues, maybe he's going to cut out like his salt intake, or you know what I mean? Like he's going to take steps, take an aspirin every day. Same concept. Go ahead, Kel.
So like Gil said, sure, those problems could be happening, but you may get to a call and really there's no problems. Like they shut it off because it stopped cooling. You go out and you turn it on, everything fires up and everything checks out okay. I mean, you go through the wiring and you clean it, and you just do everything, and everything checks out okay. Run cap's okay. Well, it could be that it had a hard time. There was a time where it shut off, went to come right back on 5 minutes later, and would not start. So it's something that just adding a start boost can totally solve that issue for you, and you're done with it. So if you're wondering, like, I can't figure what's going on with this unit, that could be a likely culprit. And it does get us, like, it happens probably 3-4 times minimum each summer as a callback. And normally if I talk with the technician, well, then I'm going to say, let's go ahead and put a start boost on it, and or they'll test it right there. They'll go ahead and shut it off, pull the disconnect or whatever, and only wait, 5 minutes, plug it back in, see if it starts. If it doesn't start and it's hot out and it's been working hard, I about guaranteed that's what happened. There was an instance where on one of the off cycles, when it went to go back on, it just didn't start. So a start boost will save that. So a start boost can save a lot of. It can also be a callback saver for, like, you get a storm or you lose power or something like that. I mean, just having that start boost on there, it can save. You could easily extend your warranty on your labor, probably just having a start boost on there. I don't know if that's going too far out of the scope there, but it's going to help that system start.
Yeah, no, for sure. And
without question, real quick, it will eliminate some after hours calls, period. During storms or electricity problems, it will help.
Yeah, or I've even noticed some of those calls where you've gone through capacitors quite a few times, and we're always like, goddamn Chinese capacitors, and that's what you associate it with. But then you've added a hard start, and all of a sudden those capacitors are lasting a little bit longer. And I don't know if it goes hand in hand. I don't. I'm not smart enough to know that. But I have seen it happen before where we've had capacitor issues, and for whatever reason, they finally put a hard start on there, and now all of a sudden, like, we're not changing, that capacitor lasts longer than 2 years. So, real fast before we go on, I don't know if it's just me because you're definitely muted, but I thought when you were talking, I heard a little reverb, like.
Really?
Yeah, but it was, maybe it wasn't enough to even.
Surely not. I mean, with that thing being muted, I don't know where you'd be picking it up at, so you got to be good.
Yeah, I was going to say go. It's definitely muted, though. Let me unmute it real fast and let's say something. Hold on. Let me unmute it. Why is it not unmuting? You son of a bitch. I don't know. It's definitely muted. Go in through that phone real fast and see if, like.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm definitely hearing you. Here, hold on. I'm going to mute you on the other one, too. Yeah, no.
Now I'm gonna hear crazy feedback.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. So go ahead and mute that and then unmute yourself on the other one. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but we should be good. Unmute yourself on this one, the one you're using. For some reason it lets me mute you, but it wasn't letting me unmute you. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. I just thought I heard something, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
All right, going to the next one. We got to hurry the fuck up.
Yeah.
30 minutes.
Okay, so checking the drain line. This can be a numerous issues. Whether you did an install and you failed to pull the little cardboard card out of the pump, out of the switch on the pump, or you replaced a coil and condenser and you just didn't blow out the drain line. You reconnected to an existing drain line. or you blew out a drain line, even with one of the cartridge drain cleaners, and maybe it's a really long line set, and that little of nitrogen or CO2, maybe it wasn't enough to push everything out of there. I'm not, and I don't know. I'm just saying that drain line problems seem to be a callback as far as just leaking water for one reason or another. Maybe you didn't put the trap in properly or something. We had one that didn't get a trap, or the trap wasn't built properly. Just our mistake. Shit happens, but it was too much for the water to overcome, and we had a little bit of spillage, over in the drain pan. So checking the drain line, like we got to check the drain line. We got to blow the drain line out almost every call, or make sure that it's draining. I really like to see it draining. Anytime I do an install, when I run that thing at the end, I always, if there's any humidity in the air, I'm waiting. I want to see it pissing water. And if I don't see it pissing water, like I'm sticking around and I'm worried about it. Because normally when you get to the end of an install, you got a lot of cleanup to do after you're done. So like you get the system running, and then it's time to pick everything up, shine everything up, put your stickers on, hang your job packet, do the walkthrough with the customer. If it's not pissing water by the time you get done with all that, then I'm going to be concerned. So I like to see them draining after I put anything in.
Yeah. Guys, don't assume. Don't assume. Like Kelly said, and I've had that happen with the whole condensate pump, especially when you put them little giant ones, you forget that little cardboard thing. That's the thing about taking your time, being thorough, checking everything. You change a condensate pump, fill it up with water a couple of times. Watch the pump.
Yes.
Make sure it's pumping to where it's supposed to pump to. It only takes a second to fill it up. If you blow out a drain, don't just assume that you got it. Pour water down it. With the customer, hey, can I get a gallon, or keep a gallon jug in your truck or something? They'll let you fill it up. Pour water down, and like Kelly said, watch it come out the other end. Or if it's an attic system, depending on where you live, and the exit pipe is out by the unit, watch the condensate come out. Like, don't just assume that shit's okay. And guys, they take water issues, they think it's like not important to blow out a drain, but those water issues can come back to fuck you and your company more than those capacitor calls and so on, because if those things cause water damage, we got a problem, guys. So make sure you take them seriously. But real fast is also the pitch, especially on longer ones. Make sure it's not bowing. And, if you have to put a level on it, make sure the pitch is going down. Like I've seen our guys, like they think it's something small, but there's that one little spot that's got a bow in it. That's why I'm not a real big fan of long runs of PVC. I rather run a condensate pump or something if I can, if I have to.
Yeah, well, there's a little old lady that I used to take care of, and I probably serviced her system twice a year, every year, for probably 12 to 14 years. And her air handler was in the attic. She had a heat pump. Air handler was in the attic, and I had to crawl 30 foot. The garage, the access was in the garage. I crawled 30 foot to almost the other end of the house to get to her air handler to check everything. And she had a condensate pump. Twice a year, I'm filling that sucker up in the attic with water and watching that thing pump out. So yeah, you got to test it just to ensure that it's draining. And I'll fill it up twice, because I'm always worried that it's going to, on a longer run, fills up the tube, but it doesn't go all the way out. So I make the pump cycle twice, just to make sure. But yeah. I'm anal about that stuff, because I think you got to be a really solid technician and to not have callbacks. You got to go that extra mile.
And it really doesn't take that much more time. So I don't want to hear I don't have time. That's a bullshit excuse. It doesn't take that much more time. And I agree with Kelly. Every service call you go on to, if they're not your service contract customer and that drain's being blown out twice a year, you need to be blowing the drain out, because you don't know who's been there last. And I don't care how nice the system is, all drains clog. It's a nature of the beast. Another thing is, that I really like. And actually, I mean, I'll shout him out. I mean, I don't know him like that, but I watch his videos. Mr. Ted Cook is, and I've actually seen it done where guys at the end of the condensate line, they have it going up on an angle. So that way, when it blows out, the gravity forces all that water down. So you don't have any that sticks in the end of the hose. You know, sometimes you got that little piece that's sticking out. Especially if you got like a 90+ furnace, if you have it like going out the wall, like going up, like this is the wall, you have it going up and then coming down through the wall. That way, after it pumps, that last little bit falls out, just gravity. It's not at the end. That's actually a really good idea. So
right, gotcha.
But let's move on to the next one. We'll try to go
number 4.
Yeah, number 4 is going to be breakers tripping. You know, if you have a breaker that's constantly tripping, check all your wires. Are all your wires tight? You know, you don't have a loose wire somewhere. Your spade clips going into your contactor. Hey, maybe you got to take that cover off of the breaker panel. Check your wires. Make sure it's in there. Is that breaker heating up? Is that breaker getting too hot to the touch? When I turn it off and on, when I turn it on, is it not snapping? That thing should click. It should snap on. You know, if it's like flimsy, then that breaker's getting weak and needs to be replaced. You know, it seems like something obvious, but little things like that are going to create callback. You know, you got it running. It's fine. All of a sudden, you know, you were out there at 3, 4 o'clock and now 9 o'clock, that breaker's tripped and they don't have any AC. And people are like, I just paid your guy fucking $800 and I don't have AC. Something that we need to address. So
yeah,
try to run through these. So
sure. Check your disconnect connections always on a breaker trip. You know, check the amp draw, wash your outdoor unit, check your charge. All those things can cause high amperage, and you know, check your run cap. I mean, it's like that's like a normal maintenance service call. But if you don't find anything that sticks out at you in that, then I'm going to the breaker panel and I'm probably removing the breaker panel, checking my connections there. Like Gil said, fill the breaker. Is it getting hot after it runs for a while? Check the amperage. Is it well below what the breaker is rated at? Because it should be. On startup, it might get a little close if it's sized properly. But when it's running, you know, it should not be close to what the breaker's rated at. I don't know what an average of that is, but I'd say 8 to 10 amps less a lot of times. Would you agree, or am I off there? I don't think I'm off there. Most of the time it pulls well under what it's actually rated at. You know, maybe 24 amps when it's rated at 30 or something.
Yeah, you figure most residential outdoor ACs, heat pumps have a 30. ACs have a 30 amp breaker. Sometimes you'll see a heat pumps that have 60. So something like that. But yeah, you should be well below that. And
it's well below.
Yeah, since we're doing time, I'm gonna mix one of the things that I added in, even though we didn't have that on here, is another thing, guys. If you go on a call and you have a disconnect with breakers, which technically here it's code, but we don't do it all the time, I'm not gonna lie. But and you have one of those fuses that's bad, change both of them. Do not just change one, because trust me, maybe not anytime soon, but at some point you're going to have a callback because that other fuse is going to go bad. If anything happened, it's going to be on both of them. Maybe just one of them went bad. So always change both fuses. All right.
Number 5.
Yep. Go ahead, buddy.
Gil kind of hit on this in a short video in the Facebook group, but just making a repair and walking away. Too many times we go to the, you know, we pop the electrical panel off. We walk up to the end, it's going, you know, oh, this is easy. I'm going to be in and out of here. You swap the run cap out, fire it off, maybe hook up one line, your suction line or something. Oh, we're good. And you walk away. We got to stop doing that. We still got to approach that call like it's, you know, we got to do the maintenance on it. We got to check everything. We got to go inside too. Sometimes we don't even go inside. We're like, oh, well, you know, they meet us at the door. Oh, I got it turned on. The unit's out back. Well, I'm guilty once in a great while. I would, especially if I've got a bunch of calls lined out for me to that day. I'm going to walk around to the back unit. I may say, oh, okay, Gil, have you guys changed the filter? Oh yeah, we just changed it last night. Okay. I'll go ahead and start out back. And I know there's been times where I never went inside, didn't make a habit out of it. That's for sure. I'm very thorough on my service, but, I'm sure there's been some calls where I didn't, and that's just really unacceptable. I should have never have done that. So always go inside, check everything thoroughly. Be sure to go through the entire unit. It is unbelievable how many loose connections I find on disconnects. And I don't worry. I'm just safe. I've done literally thousands of them where I put my screwdriver on them, tighten the wire, tighten the screw. I leave it hot. That's probably not the safest thing. I know it's not, but I've done thousands of them. As long as you are careful and aware, you'll be fine. Not advocating that though in any way, shape, or form.
And that's how I do mine hot. So
yeah, but I always check it because there's too many times where you got 2 whole turns on that sumbitch. And with 2 whole turns, like that's just a problem waiting to happen. So, but if we just replace the run cap and we get it walk away, we're missing this stuff. So it's just be thorough,
Yeah. And to be honest, since we're kind of what time, that one, I guess more than we're going to use these as talking points. Let's mix a couple into that because we have a couple other ones that kind of go right in that one. So I'm going to read them off and then me and Kelly can both go in depth with these two, which is going to be, well, it's not going inside. It's going to be failing to do the basic stuff. And then hooking up our gauges and not checking superheat and subcooling. So, guys, okay, I tell my techs, I'm okay if you check everything. Let me backtrack for a second. First of all, guys, we all know that a lot of customers bullshit. Not saying they're not good, honest people, but maybe they're exaggerating. They think they just changed the filter and really it was a month ago. We got to take what they say with a grain of salt. We need to be the interpreters of their bullshit and of what they say. I'm not going to say it's even all bullshit, but you got to take the little good pieces that we need and then sweep the rest of it away. And then try to use that, but not take it like it's law. I mean, we all know how many times I just changed that filter and you go downstairs and it's got fur matted on it and you can tell that they haven't changed it. So every call, we need to make our own diagnosis. I don't care if one of your other techs was out there. He's your best friend. You need to make your own judgment call, your own analysis of what's going on. We need to make sure you're seeing everything. Maybe you're spending more time on this than that in different calls, but at least you're putting eyes on everything. Like, how can you charge a unit without ever going inside? How do you know if that filter is not dirty? But maybe that's why your suction pressure is low. Maybe the coil's dirty. The blower motor's dirty. That's why you have low suction. All of a sudden you clean that stuff and your suction pressure is where it's supposed to be. And you would have just overcharged the shit out of that unit. And I'll get Kelly's opinion. I don't want to sit here and try to talk about everything, but one thing that my owner has always been big on, and he got me about it, is cycling the unit off and on. Okay, now it's running. Make sure it turns off. Kelly, we've all had those calls.
Yeah.
I fixed my unit today and now it's just been running the whole time and it won't shut off. You know?
Especially if you change an old contactor, especially like those old, like when the GE units and stuff, the old GE and those weird contactors. Like you've really got to pay attention to line and load on those. So I've had that issue happen a couple of times. Gil just covered a lot of stuff. So you're not cycling the unit on and off. That's something that can create a lot of callbacks if you don't just ensure that it shuts off and it comes back on. Absolutely not checking both sides, superheat, subcooling. My guys know that if they call me and they're like, I just want a second opinion, I want to know what you're thinking. That's the first thing I'm going to ask. What's your suction pressure? What's your liquid pressure? What's your superheat and subcooling? I need to know that. Okay. Then I may say, what's your temperature drop? What brand of unit you're working on? Like, I want to know, because I've looked at thousands of units through my career. So if you tell me what brand it is, I'm gonna say, is it the brown one or is it the beige one? Is it square? Is it rectangle? Because I know this shit because I've just looked at so many units, and that
round.
Yeah, that helps me picture what you're looking at, and I know things from those specific units. So I know there's been times where I just blow my guy's mind because I'm like, okay, on the bottom left hand corner, there's a little red button. You need to push that button and see if that doesn't start. Like, I just know the unit. So what?
No, I was joking like it's big and round, and you're like, there's plenty of times I blow their minds, and I'm
Oh yeah, no,
sorry.
So and also Gil hit misdiagnosis on the like overcharge. Like we misdiagnosed. We think it just needs some more refrigerant, so we put refrigerant in it. So
I didn't
that's a big one, and that's probably one that's more of a misdiagnosis than like a callback, but it creates a callback because it still doesn't solve any problems. On the really old Coleman units, the old blue presidentials, they had a sight glass on them out there in the units. If you remember those, surely you've seen the old blue presidentials, the old Coleman. They were a square unit. I think that the ends were like rounded, but then the back end was squared. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly what you're talking about.
So the compressor had its own cabinet. It didn't sit directly below the fan motor. It had its own cabinet. Well, they had sight glasses in those, and guys would go in and fill it till those sight glasses are full. And those particular units, you cannot do that. If you fill it till the sight glasses full, you're about 3 to 4 pounds overcharged. And so one of my territory managers for the company I worked for at the time, I went out to look at his unit, and somebody else had been out there, and it wasn't cooling worth a shit. Guess what? I removed 4 pounds of refrigerant from that sucker, and it started kicking ass and I know why. It's because it had a sight glass. That means they weren't checking superheat subcooling because it told a clear picture of what was happening there. It was easy to diagnose, but you have to check it every time.
That's why I really don't like sight glasses in residential application for that reason.
Yeah. So so go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I didn't mean to talk about so many guys. We were just getting close on time. So me and Kelly had a bunch of things listed, but they were more like talking points. But do you want to go ahead and talk? I had number 7 about the motors. Yeah, I know you want to talk about that.
Let's just make it quick.
Yeah.
I was on a call once where if I hadn't stuck with it long enough, I would have completely missed it. And I didn't do anything wrong. I went downstairs, checked everything on the furnace. I think it might have been an air conditioner call. I can't remember, but I thought maybe the motor was starting a little bit slow. Check the run capacitor, check the amps. Everything checks out golden. Like everything looks great. Go outside, do my stuff, write my ticket up, and I'm like, I can't find anything. Everything looks really good. While I'm sitting there talking to the person, and the unit had been running about 25 minutes. I'm talking. He signs the ticket, and I hear the air noise stop, and I'm like, hold on, Mr. Jones. I'm pretty sure I just heard this thing shut off. So I run downstairs. Sure enough, the blower motor had overheated after 25 minutes of runtime, and I would have never have known. I couldn't have caught this thing doing it because everything tested fine. So, and it could be maybe the bearings were a little bit loose, and it's really tough to tell when you've got the shaft, when you got the squirrel cage on the shaft and it's installed in there. Like, it's tough to really tell how much you're actually moving the bearings. So, but ultimately faulty motors can get you. And I'll tell you one more thing, you guys, if you ever come across a condenser fan motor that's froze up, and you can oil it up, break it free, like you break it free and now it's spinning just as free as can be, don't ever walk away from it. It has to be replaced. Trust me. I've tried it a couple of times. It took 2 times. I'm a hard-headed, I'm a hard learner, but by the second time I was like, that's the last one I'll ever walk away from without, because I thought it was going to be okay. Dude, if it froze up, it's not ever going to be okay. It's got to be replaced. You can oil it to your, you can use the whole can of your Zoom spout oil and it don't matter. As soon as it heats up, it's going to freeze up again. So just replace it.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of guys don't realize when they change these motors, especially the universal motors, guys, you need to take the drain plug out of that motor.
Yes.
You look on that motor, there's a drain plug that that motor is inverted, it's supposed to be taken out. A lot of guys don't do that, and you just decrease the life of that motor for that reason.
I've seen them fail in less, in 2 or 3 months fail.
Yeah,
They'll fill up with water, and then the moisture gets in there.
yeah, and then you've just created bullshit for yourself.
Yeah.
And obviously 3 months later, you can't charge that customer. At least at our company, we can't. We're going to warranty it longer than that.
Yep.
And Kelly's right. Sometimes with these motors, you can't tell, but this is one of those situations where I think listening to what the customer says can really, really help you. If they say, it got really hot in here. I didn't really feel, I didn't really feel like cold air, or I smelled, I smelled like a burning smell, and then it just like went away. So burning smell, you're automatically going to think, oh, we got burnt wires. You don't see any burnt wires. You go down and the fan's running. You're like, I don't see anything wrong. Me now, after time and after seeing that, I know that motor is heating up, and it's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to stay a little bit longer, like Kelly said, to see if it happens. Or in my case, if that capacitor is good, if it's a PSC blower, that I'm going to put down to replace it, because that thing is going to overheat. It's the issue. Same thing outside. Obviously, they're not going to say, oh, I smell it, but maybe sometimes they say, I don't know. Sometimes I go out there and that little fan on top spinning. Sometimes I go out there and it's not. You check the capacitor's good. You're like, oh, they're full of shit. Maybe they're not full of shit. Maybe you need to sit there and watch that thing run for a little bit. Make sure that's not happening. So guys, I mean, this podcast was supposed to be like a top 10 thing, but it really, what it all boils down to is me and Kelly are trying to tell you guys to be fucking thorough on your calls. Guys, there's so many callbacks that happen on things that it's just guys being lazy and missing stuff. And me and Kelly aren't sitting here, like Kelly even said, and I'm admitting it too. I'm not saying that I've always done these things. We've gotten this way from not doing things in the past. And we're trying to tell you this so that you don't have it. So whether you own your own company, you're a one-man band, or you work for a huge company, either way, you don't want to have it. It's not going to make you look good for the owner. It's not going to make your company look good. And for you guys out there that you said, like we said earlier, you say you're doing 16 calls. If you're the owner of the company, stop doing that, man. I guarantee that you're not going to be in business long. And you're for one, you're not maximizing each call. So you're leaving money on the table. You're getting more people, but you're giving them piss poor service. And it's not a recipe for success. I promise you it's not. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest with you. And if you work for a company and that company's giving you 16 calls a day like that, you need to find a new fucking company. So,
yeah, it all boils down to the basics. That little story that Gil said about having a process, everyone should have their own process. There's a list of things that we have to check on every single service call, pretty much. So however you develop and what order you go in, I don't care, but we got to go through them. And you guys already know what it is. It's all the basic stuff. So just follow that process. And honestly, I mean, nine times out of 10, you're going to find something, or it's going to point you in the right direction if there's a problem, by checking all the basics. You got to act and approach every call that you get as if you've never been there before. If you're like doing a callback, one of your coworkers, you're doing a callback for one of your coworkers, or it's the first time you've ever been there and none of you, first time anyone from your company's been there, you got to approach every single call like no one's ever been there before. And Gil hit it earlier, and I didn't really talk about it, but you've you just got to take everything the customer says with a grain of salt. Yes, I want you to get information from them, because sometimes it could be a key piece of information that helps point you in the right direction. But a lot of times, I mean, you're the professional, not the customer. The customer doesn't know. That's why they called you. If they knew, they would have fixed it. So don't let them, because I've had you, and the customer will sometimes even push you that way. Well, the thermostat's right over here. That's where the problem is. You're like, I understand, ma'am, but I need to look downstairs first, so they'll even try to push you towards what they think it is, when we know as well as professionals that that's probably not what it is. So just approach every call with an open mind. Don't go in and zero in on one thing that you think it is, without looking at everything. So
yeah, stay open-minded, because if you
Yes.
close your mind, you're bound to make a mistake, because you're not looking at the big picture of things. And like Kelly said, we've all had it where you pull up to a call, you get out of your truck, you get your stuff, you go to walk to the door, and the customer walks out. Oh, it's over here on the side of the house. That's when you need to be like, well, thank you, sir, but I'm gonna go ahead and check the indoor unit first. And
it's good. We changed the filter last night.
yeah, it doesn't matter.
I know, but that's
Paying you to do this service,
Yep.
you need to be like, sir, I understand that's all fine, but I'm going to go ahead and take a look at your thermostat and then make my way to the indoor unit, and then we'll work our way back outside. And you got to be persistent. Like Kelly said, we're the professionals. If he knew so damn much, or they knew so damn much, they wouldn't have called us. And you got to act like that, guys. You need to carry yourself like a professional. We're the HVAC so-called experts. Whether you're in different parts of the trade, you still know more than they did, or they do, or you should. If you don't, then you shouldn't be at that service call. But this is pretty much what we're getting to, guys. We want you guys to be thorough, limit your mistakes. We're not saying you're still going to make some, because you still have all the other elements that, you have the weather, it's hot, you're tired, maybe you didn't sleep that night. So we have enough things that are going to be going against us, especially this time of year. We don't want these to be added onto it. We have enough things that we're trying to fight against.
And I'll go one step further on that. When it's this time of year and we're working extra hours, we have to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
If you're used to staying up till 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, and that's no big deal for you, you're used to it on normal schedule work days. Back when you were getting home at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, if you're used to that, you've got to take, like, you don't have that time right now. Not this time of year. You don't have that time. You'll have it soon enough. But right now, you got to take care of yourself. When you get home, get your stuff taken care of so you can spend that quality time with your family and your kids. But then get your tail to bed, because your body needs rest.
Yeah. Or midnight, 12 a.m. on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. That means it's time to close this mother fricker out. Let's go ahead and close this out, my friend.
Guys, thanks so much for listening. I hope this was beneficial to you. I hope that you'll actually listen and do it. Slow down just a little bit. I know you're busy. I know you're working hard. And, I'll tell you, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you guys for what you do. I'm proud of my guys that work for me, man. We've been, working hard, and it's hot and it's miserable, but we're doing what we got to do. And so thank you for your service. Take care of yourselves. Get to bed earlier. Don't neglect the kids and the wife when you do get to spend time at home. Stay off the phone.
Yeah.
Also get to bed earlier. Drink plenty of fluids.
Hydrate.
Even when you get home, and you're not sweating anymore, you get cooled off after your shower. Keep drinking, rehydrate, and just stay safe. So, anyhow, guys, just thank you so much for your support, and we're lucky, man. Very lucky, and I'm super excited about the products coming out. I hope you guys are excited too. So until next time, till next week, I hope you're making money. You better be fucking making money. So go get it. Go make money.
Yeah, we thank you all so much, man. The support that you guys have given us over this last year that me and Kelly have done this podcast has been overwhelming, and we cannot thank you all enough, man. You guys have definitely taken like Kelly said, thank you so much. You guys have taken this podcast to the next level, and we really, when we do these shows, especially like tonight or any other show, me and Kelly always say we don't know everything. We're not know-it-alls. We're not super techs. We've just been around the trade for a while. Whether it was actually physically working or younger and just watching it from afar, that we've just seen a lot of things happen, a lot of things that worked, a lot of things that didn't work. And we want to just try to pass as much as we can on to you guys as we can, so that you guys can be the best that you can be, so that it benefits you as a person. You can make the most money. You can be happy at what you do. You can love what you do. The fact that we're helping the trade that we love, that we're going to have a lot more HVAC techs out there running that are honest, thorough, doing a good job, making our whole trade look good. That's our purpose. That's what we're trying to do. So yes, we have stickers.
Yes.
Why is the camera not switching now?
I don't know.
Oh, I think because I had it clicked on you. Yeah, so we got some stickers. And then we have all the shirts and stuff. So me and Kelly are changing our website around. So we're going to have e-commerce, so you guys can buy any of the products right from our website. That should be out soon. A lot of guys have been hitting me up. As soon as the products come in and they are available for purchase, I will let you guys know. If you have anything special, well, first of all, right now we're just going to be doing summer things like baseball caps and t-shirts and stickers. As fall comes, then we'll start doing like hoodies and beanies and things like that. If there's anything that you guys want special, whether it's a camo print or something, and we're slowly going to have like limited edition or special items throughout the year.
I want a tank top.
That's fine. We can do that.
Fucking with you.
Yeah, why is this thing not? It should be switching back and forth by itself. What is going on here?
Mine doesn't. So I've never seen it do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not doing that, but
oh well.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how this video turns out. But so we may have audio, we may just have video, or I mean, we may just have audio and not have video. But yeah, if you guys want something special that's not what we have, if you email us at our email, HVACuncensored@gmail.com, I'll have you made whatever you want. I'll just have to place it with another order. So just let us know. That's fine. The hat I'm wearing now was actually a screw up. Obviously this logo is not this light. It was supposed to be blue and then blue on the back. This front two panels were supposed to be white and then have our normal logo like what's behind me. Yeah, like that logo right there.
Yeah.
A lot of guys said that they like this, so I'll get some of these too. That's fine. Just let us know. Let me keep this going. Like Kelly said, as far as staying hydrated, guys, you need to be drinking water. They say 3 days in advance. Okay, so it's not like, oh, I'm feeling dehydrated. Let me drink some water while I'm working. You need to be, pounding that. Like Google how much water you need to drink per your body weight. It's a lot more than you think it is. And I know that I don't always do it, but it's a lot more than you think it is. So guys, we just want you to be safe out there. Like we always say, always make it home the same way you left. We all got somebody waiting for us when we get home. Guys, we always want you to be the best versions of you. Go out there and be fucking rock stars. And that, your boys here, me and Kelly at HVAC Uncensored, if we can help you, then we're going to fucking help you. All you got to do is reach out to us and we'll do whatever we can to help each and every one of you, man. We appreciate you guys so fucking much that we cannot stress it enough. Me and Kelly are going to talk here in the next day or so, and we're going to schedule a giveaway. There's going to be some good items. We have some gauges to give away. We have a Vito MB2 bag. We have some smaller things to give away. So me and Kelly are going to set that up, and I will post a date. I'll put it somehow on Facebook. I'll put it in the Facebook group, but some of you guys that aren't in Facebook, if I have to make a little video just to put on Facebook, I keep saying Facebook, just to put on YouTube for you guys that don't do that. I'll do that. And then I'll put it on Instagram too. I'll try to put it on everything so you guys can know about it. But I'm going to start running my mouth. We love you guys, man. I appreciate you. And until next week, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you motherfuckers later, man. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.
Ow! Smack myself in the head. Let's turn that off. And all you guys watching the video, we thank you, man. We appreciate you. And we hope you enjoyed our screw ups and mess ups, and you see the kind of shit we go through behind the scenes. But yeah, we'll see you guys next week. All right.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
Bye.